Good morning, this is Jack Charting the Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Wednesday, the 26th of March. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing and learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. Right. Okay, right, we've got sell signals more or less across the board now. We got ES, we got a 6-minute sell signal fixed on NQ. We've had one fixed overnight. On RTY, we had one fixed as well. And YM, we've got one fixed as well. And on DAX and the STX, we have a sell signal fixed on DAX 2, although that's already reached the possible near miss target. And ESTX, we've got one fixed as well, but that's already reached the possible near miss target. In terms of the flags, how are we looking? We reached my well, I think probably better to look at these on the RTH charts, but we've got okay looking flag on ES. We've got a pretty decent looking flag that went to the obvious place on NQ. On RTY got a decent one too, and on YM we got one as well. DAX and the STX don't really count. The Europeans not really in the same place as the Americans are. The Europeans and DAX and the STX barely down on the year so far. All right, let's have a look at the bigger picture charts. On SPX, right. SPX, we've seen a decent move over and a confirmation of the move over the daily middle band, which is modestly bullish. We've got the 200 DMA. We're back over that as well. Could we fail from there? Yes. And having not failed yesterday, the obvious time to fail back below is today, and we got a lot of sell signals suggesting that we might well see that. On the hourly charts, the hourly RSI 14 buy signal made target. Nothing really major on that, but on here, I drew in the ideal resistance trend line on SPX, and as you can see, we reached it. This is a nice looking bear flag. We don't have 15-minute sell signal, but I don't think we really need one. This is where I was expecting the flag to go, and it's nice. I tend to take SPX more seriously as it patterns very well, generally speaking, and that looks pretty good. It's so this is a nice bear flag. We've made the full double bottom target. It's pretty solid. This is the place where if it's going to turn, then it should turn. Now, there is a possibility that we're forming an IHS here. You'll notice, this is the IHS neckline and potential IHS neckline, and this is going across here. So what we could do here, if we're going to extend higher, is we could just sit here, right shoulder here. That, of course, could make the sell signal targets on the futures, and then we could turn back up and do a larger rally. I'm not seeing any reason currently to see that we would do that, but it may be if basically the tariffs are cancelled for the time being, that we could see that. It is possible that can happen, because obviously we've got all this trouble from Signalgate, so to speak, as it's being dubbed, and obviously tariffs are actually a really bad idea. So and that may actually sink in at some point. So we do have potential to go higher here, but this is the bear flag, and the obvious next target within the flag would be to go down to the 56.60 area, really. Drop 120 handles, and we've got sell signals for that, and we're obviously at the resistance area for that. This is a nice looking setup. So I'm watching this very carefully here, and really we should turn back down here. In terms of NQ, on the Qs, we've got gone over and slightly overthrown the obvious resistance here. This too is a nice looking flag. Again, we're at a potential IHS neckline, so we could form a right shoulder here. On Dire, pretty much the same. We haven't got this nice a resistance trend line here, and I was wondering about a move up into this level here, but we're into IHS necklines as well. Looking at IWM. We've got a nice move up. This is a decent trend line here. Not perfect, but decent. And this is so I'm thinking that we may well have formed an IHS here. And we've got potentially an IHS which is already formed and broken up. But we could be forming one with a level trend line because, again, we're up in the right area to do that too. I'm leaning towards seeing a pullback here, and that pullback could be setting up an IHS. That IHS could break up and then fail, or that IHS could break up and make target, but I don't think it's going to make target unless we see tariffs basically cancelled for a while. We will see how that goes. Got to say, I've been watching a lot of news in the last few days, and I've been watching Trump very carefully. He's very, very keen on this tariffs idea. So I don't know whether he's going to be prepared to pull back. And if he isn't, then we're going to see trouble. And we do, of course, have a whole load of targets still outstanding to the downside. IWM, we've got, hang on, wait a second. We've still got this head and shoulder target, which is down in the 182.5 area. On Dyer, we've got, sorry, I'm having a bit of an issue with some of these opening up this morning. On Dyer, we've got this very nice target down in about the 383, 384 area. And these are all outstanding. I think Qs had more or less made the target, almost. But even there, we've got the ideal targets down in about the 456 to 459 area. And on SPX, we got targets down in about the 5360 to 5440 area. And none of these targets have been made yet. And really, I'm expecting them all to be made. So here we are. We've got flags. And this is the obvious day for it to be turning. I'm watching with great interest here, but really I'm expecting to see a pullback here, and even if we are going to go higher, we should see that pullback here because the pattern setup would be suggesting that this is the point at which we would make an IHS right shoulder. But if we do see an IHS, my lean is that we'd probably see that form, come back up here to retest this high, and then fail. And then go back and at least retest the current retracement lows. So we will see how that goes. Right, great. Let's have a look at the DX area. DX, we've got an IH double bottom which is broken up. This is like watching molasses flow. This has been very, very slow, but we've got a nice looking buy signal. We got a target in the 104.75 area, and it looks nice. ZB, I am wondering if we're going to come down to this possible flag support here. It's the obvious trend line support, and I've got that in about the 115.05 area, and really we should reach that and then go back up and retest this high. CL has reached declining resistance, which is breaking slightly. I am thinking we are now getting pretty close to the double bottom target, which is up in about the 70 area, and I'm leaning towards it making that. So obviously that's not a bad match with the monthly pivot at 70.20. We'll see how that goes. Monthly pivot, of course, is only the monthly pivot for another 3 days. NG, we've got a nice looking bull flag here. It's overthrowing a little, well, basically we're finding support at the monthly pivot so far. If this is a bull flag, then it should find support at the monthly pivot and turn back up here and go back up and retest this high here in about the 4.93 area. We'll see whether it manages it. If it sees a significant breakdown, well, actually, even if we're going down, I'd be leaning towards seeing a head and shoulder, right shoulder here with an ideal high in about the 4.4 area. So I'm expecting to see a bounce here. I'd be surprised if we didn't get one. GC, still kicking around near the highs. It's been very, very slow action in the last few days. This looks like a bull flag forming, and it may have broken up already. On SI, looks like it's heading back up into a retest of this high here at 35. On HG, HG has gone higher. It made my 520 target, and it's gone a little higher here. This may well be the second high of a double top, and I would note that we've now got a 60-minute. Have we got 6-minute sell signal fixed? We haven't got a 6-minute sell signal fixed. Okay, we don't have a signal here. Wondering about a retest of this high to give us one, but this is the area I was thinking we would probably see a high. We'll see whether we get it. Not much to see on the currencies. USD still trying to break down from this head and shoulders. Very slow action this week. KC. Wondering about A, B, C here, or it could be a triangle forming. Either way, this looks like a bullish consolidation, setting up a retest of this high here in the 430 area. On SB, could be a bull flag forming. Bigger picture, I'm wondering about a turn back down soon. On CC, nice looking double bottom and has done almost nothing. leaning towards that breaking up. ZW, I'm leaning towards seeing a retest of this low here. We could form a larger flag with another leg up first, but one way or another, I'm expecting to see a retest of this low here in the 530 area. On ZW, ZW, we've got very weak 60-minute buy signal fixed. Sorry, on corn rather. Still leaning towards seeing a retest of this low. On soy. Soy, nice looking triangle, trying to break down. Leaning towards seeing a retest of this low as well. I've got that in about the 990 area. On CT, leaning towards seeing a retest of this low here in the 6250 area. On lumber, almost back there to my high, which is just below 700. But that may well be the second high of a double top when we get there. On lean hogs, looks very, very much like live cattle looks very, very much like a bull flag forming and setting up a retest of this high here in the 207 area. And on lean hogs, we've got consolidation leaning towards seeing a retest of this low here in the 91.875 area. Okay, right. So just to recap, on the rally, we've got nice looking bear flags. We have reached a resistance area. We reached a possible IHS neckline area, and we've got 60-minute sell signals fixed on ES and Q, RTY, and YM. I would expect to see at this stage a pullback of 100 points, 120 points or so, and so on to form an IHS right shoulder, at which point we would either continue down or break up from the IHS and then probably fail and continue down. So I'm expecting to see at least a retest of the retracement low. Now, all of this is very, very subject to news. We're going to be having this all year. I think this is going to be a big, big, big news year. So obviously, if the tariffs, April the 2nd is on Wednesday next week, that's in 1 week. If the plans continue to go on to there, and I think really the tariffs are likely to go on in a big way, at least onto Europe, then I think it's going to cause a lot of trouble. We should retest the lows. We could continue down. I'm going to do a post about that today. We will see how that goes. But really, this is the point. I'm expecting to see a drop of at least 100 handles here. This is all nicely set up. We'll see how that goes today. All right, great. In that case, let's have quick look at questions. No questions. In that case, that's a wrap. Catch you guys tomorrow. Cheers.